watching this episode of The Bright Bite. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about dental implants. A lot of you watching have no idea, but my front tooth, this one right here, is a dental implant. If you're a patient, you need a dental implant, I'm going to tell you all about the process, what you need to know, why you don't need to be scared, and why it's kind of crazy time for you. I will tell you my dental past. Yours might be the same. There's a couple reasons why you would need a dental implant. One, you fell traumatically, broke the tooth at the neck, they need to extract the tooth. You've had, previous root canals or crowns and the tooth failed, and so you have a new infection, you need an implant. There's a number of reasons why you would need an implant, but the story is you don't need to be scared or nervous. It's going to be okay, and you're gonna have a tooth, which is amazing. Like, thank God for dentistry, or else I would not have a front tooth, which is even crazier. I'll tell you a little bit about what happened to me. When I was about 8 years old, I had just gotten my front tooth, my permanent ones. I was riding my bike and I fell, and I remember like sliding on the floor, and all these little pieces of something were right next to me. Well, that ended up being my tooth because I had ground down all over the floor. So I didn't even know that I broke my tooth. I went into the mirror. I remember there was blood everywhere, and long story short, I had it was number 8 was really like broken in half, and then a little chip, I think on 9, and 7 it had a little chip. At the time I was young, the doctor did like a filling, and then eventually I needed a crown, or no, I had veneers first in high school. And then that tooth failed, I needed a root canal, then it failed again, and I needed a root canal. And then I got new crowns and veneers on my front teeth. And then what happened was my mom tapped me the wrong angle on my tooth, and the whole tooth broke at the neck. And I was pregnant with my son, Santiago, at the time, and I had to get my tooth extracted, and the same day they put an implant. So most patients will have same day, take out the tooth, put the implant, and then what happens is the body is going to embed, the bone will embed with the implant. It's made of titanium. It's basically like a screw. Imagine a screw. I'm going to insert a picture, and the bone just basically embeds in the screw and holds it together. It takes about 6 months for that to heal. In those 6 months, you will be wearing probably a flipper, or what I did was I was in Invisalign, so I literally just put a dummy tooth in that tray, and I wore a dummy tooth. Even filming in my old YouTube videos, I have a dummy tooth in because I didn't have the implant yet. I did that for a solid 6 months until the bone was healthy enough, and we made an implant crown. And basically we put there's like a healing cap that the doctor puts on there, and then they create a crown, and the crown's on there, and it's like as good as new. You would never know that my front tooth is an implant. It may be a little bit scary for you. You may be like, the doctor said that my tooth is infected, I need an implant, and you're scary. They're expensive, yes, because we're replacing an entire tooth. It's stressful because you're gonna have a lot of chair time, in the sense that, you might need to be adding bone or things like that, which I've done as well. They flapped open my gums and placed bone, and I'll show a picture of me getting all these crazy procedures done. But you know what? It was worth it because I have a tooth, and you will too. If you need an implant and you're watching this video because you need an implant, it's gonna be okay. And if you're a hygienist and you're trying to explain to someone the process of getting an implant, it's really important that you just really listen to the patient. They're probably really nervous. I mean, I myself cried in the chair like, I'm so stressed out. This is gonna be the craziest time of my life. And I was also pregnant at the time doing all this, and I did it, and I'm so happy I did it now. It's like, hey, I have a front tooth. I wouldn't have one. And I just want to say thank you, especially to Dr. Munkal, who did my implant and did it all with me. It was like a crazy process. But you need to find a doctor that you're comfortable with, that has the skills to do it, who's placed a lot of implants. And honestly, getting the implant done was way easier than getting a root canal. I mean, the time it takes to put that screw in is like poof. It took longer to extract my tooth than to put the implant in. It's really quick. The implant process, a lot of people have like anxiety over that. You're gonna be numb, so just know that. let your doctor know if you have a lot of anxiety. Sometimes I had doctor give me nitrous when I was having procedures done, just to take the edge off and so I could pretend like I wasn't there. Nitrous oxide, you could drive after you have it. So it's just laughing gas. They put it on, you feel like a little bit like just comfortable in the chair. It's like, oh, I'm kind of not here, but I'm here. And if they ask you questions, you can answer them. It's just you're in a much better mood. So I recommend nitrous. Ask your doctor if you're a little nervous, if you can have some nitrous. Sometimes they might give you a Valium like that morning to come in, but you would need a driver. With nitrous, you don't need a driver. I just had a baby. When I finally had my implant, I could nurse the baby after. It was fine because it's literally, they give you 5 minutes of oxygen after, and then you're not, you're just like you normally would be. So I totally recommend that. And so just know that you're going to be comfortable during the procedure. You're going to not feel anything. I mean, the main thing is you're going to have somebody working on your mouth, and you have to be comfortable for that. Like mentally, I would just prepare myself like, all right, let's do this. Today's dental day. And you're the process, it is a process. You have to wait, like it's almost a year. And sometimes patients, they'll have the tooth extracted, place bone. So they'll have the tooth extracted, wait for 6 months for it to heal, then place bone, then we wait for 6 months for it to heal, then we put the implant, wait for 6 months, then we put so some patients wait and wait and wait. And I recommend, if you're gonna have the tooth extracted, just get it done then and then, because what happens a lot of times is your body will atrophy. So sometimes, like if you've seen someone who had a broken arm and they put a cast on, they don't move those muscles around, and guess what, when they take the cast off, that arm is way thinner than the other arm because it's not moving, it's not working, and things like that. The muscles aren't moving. When you extract a tooth, guess what? The body just shrinks right there. The bone a lot of times shrinks, and I've seen it so many times where one tooth on the bottom, like a patient's nervous and they're like, I just want the tooth out. We take it out, the bone shrinks, can't even put an implant in there because there is no bone. And we've tried like putting bone there and letting it heal and seeing if we have enough bone, and there isn't enough bone. So the best thing to do is just get it done same day. This way you don't have to worry if the bone is going to atrophy. And some patients can wait 1 year, the bone will shrink like this. Some patients wait 5 years and the bone, it takes a while. Everybody's body is different, so we can't say like, yes, you will have enough bone in a year. Everybody's different. Just play it safe. Do it that day. Let the doctor pack bone that day. Let it heal, so this way you have a better chance of being able to have an implant. If you have any questions, you're nervous, send me a message. I've literally have talked a lot of patients through getting an implant because I myself have had one, and I know how stressful it is. But at the end of the day, you're going to have a tooth, which is amazing. If you don't, nowadays with dentistry, you can build up your whole mouth again. Imagine before, this is why our grandparents had dentures, had partials, because there wasn't even this option. I love that there's this option. I love that you can have dental implants. It's really not as scary as it sounds, so you could do it. Thank you for watching this episode of The Bright Bite, and I hope you have an awesome day.